Having a baby, a full-time job, and God forbid a hobby that you might even want to turn into a side hustle can make it feel life is pulling you in many different directions. In this video, I'm sharing 7 practical life hacks that I discovered and used over the years that help me save time, money, and sanity. Because let's be honest, there is never enough of any of them. I have a feeling that by the end of this video, you will have at least one strategy that you have never heard of or used before. So let's dive in. Now the first hack I want to share is one of my absolute favorites, which is meal planning by Deans. You've probably heard about meal prepping and planning, and while I love the theory in practice, the truth is it has just never worked. Meal prepping never stuck because first of all, the weekends for us are super hectic and I don't really have 2 hours to spend and dedicate to batch cooking. Second of all, we don't like eating the same food over and over again. Meal planning had its own problems as well. It took ages and it always led to extra costs and food waste when we winged it. I consulted ChatGPT with my problem that I would like to meal plan, but I feel like it takes ages. I would like our family to also eat varied. And so ChatGPT recommended that we plan our week by Dean. So what it did, it gave me a meal type for each day. So I restricting my thinking for that type of food only, which makes it so much easier to find the dish. I use a simple planner within Google Sheets for this. So for Monday, we have pasta or risotto. For Tuesday, we have curry, stew or dal. Wednesday is for something classic like a jacket potato, roasted veg and some sort of like a protein mix. Thursday is for nourish balls or stir fries. Friday is for something fun. This is when we sometimes do barbecue outside when the weather allows, or we do our DIY pizza, or we make burgers, or something more of a comfort food. And Saturday and Sunday I keep flexible and we either try a new recipe or I make something out of leftovers. I'm thinking big dishes like a lasagna or a shepherd's pie, something that is a bigger volume, so that maybe our Saturday dinner can become our Sunday lunch as well. And when it comes to lunches, we both work from home, so we can cook at home, but I like to find something very quick, something that like usually just like one pot dishes like soups or stews, or like a sandwich which is super easy to throw together, something that I can throw in the pot in 15 minutes and then let it simmer in between meetings, and then we can have it as lunch for the day. I also have a section where I mark down any kind of snacks or desserts I would like to make that week. So basically what I do on Sundays, I get this planner out and I plan out the meals for the week. And then I also place a grocery order to be with us on Monday morning. I really like this method because I don't overthink it, it cuts food waste and ensures that we eat a wide variety of meals without getting bored of it. Still on the food topic, my next hack is the what's left in the fridge challenge. So when it comes to my meal planning, I alternate weeks like this. Week 1, we have a more extravagant shopping where we also restock our fridge and pantry with cans and beans and pasta, rice, and also anything that we are running out of. And we do a bigger shop. This is usually more expensive. And then the next week, we usually have leftover in terms of ingredients in the fridge. So I check the pantry, I check the fridge, what's left, and this is the week when I get creative and trying to think of recipes that are using those ingredients only, or I only allow for a smaller top-up, and so our grocery order will be a cheaper order for that week. And if I'm stuck of ideas, I have a few tools that I like to go to. I love the Deliciously Ella app. It has a wide variety of recipes of vegan, plant-based dishes that are quick and nourishing. I also use the Pick Up Lime app very often as well. Similarly, really nice creative and nourishing dishes that you find there. And then if I'm really out of ideas and I don't really want to browse recipes, then I turn to ChatGPT. I can tell ChatGPT that we have in our fridge this and that, and also in our pantry these are the ingredients that we have left. My aim is to use all of this up by the end of the week and just do a small top-up shop for Monday, and it will give you the meals. And honestly, I love this week because especially when we get to Sunday, to see the empty fridge, literally so satisfying, because it makes me feel like I have saved money, I feel efficient, I feel low waste. And it also gives me an opportunity to do a quick wipe and clean of the fridge as well before the next grocery shop comes in on Monday. I used to feel like I was chasing the bottom of the laundry basket. So this next hack helped me beat the never-ending wave of laundry and cleaning and losing, and is inspired by a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. I love this quote from the book. It says, "The best way to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top." So what I stopped doing is treating the laundry and the cleaning like big standalone tasks. Instead, I broke them down and turned them into invisible habits by putting them into our family rhythm. So for example, during our bedtime routine, whilst my husband is doing bath time with Kemi, I quickly set a load of laundry with a delayed start so that it runs overnight and finishes by 6 a.m. Then when Kemi and I woke up, we come and hang the clothes together, or oftentimes he sits next to me and gives me a concert with his guitar whilst I'm hanging the clothes. Then folding and putting away is part of the next night's bedtime wind down. It also helps having a set weekly schedule so that it's ingrained. For us, it looks like this. On Monday, I do bedding and towels. On Thursdays, I do clothes from the week, so it's fresh for the weekend. And then on Sunday, I do clothes from the weekend so that it's fresh for the start of the next week. It's frequent, but it really helps keeping bite-sized. We do the same with cleaning. It's not something we schedule on top, but it's something that we have woven into our weekly rhythm. We are very lucky that on Monday, we have a cleaner in, which is the favorite day of my week. The weekends usually are quite hectic and the house is not as much in order as I would like it to be. So having a cleaner on Monday has been really one of the best investments we have ever made. What we also do throughout the week, after dinner, I do a quick 5-minute hoover, just focusing on the kitchen, the hallway, and the living room. As we have a dog and a toddler, I feel like it's something that I like to be on top of. And actually, Cami really loves cleaning, and by now he is asking for us to do the cleaning once we finish dinner. So it's something that we do together, and it's a really nice bonding activity. And on Fridays before nursery pickup, I like to do a 30-minute reset cleaning where I tidy everything, organize, and do a hoover and mop session so that we have a fresh start for the weekend. Now, a few honest truths. I think these quick hoover sessions wouldn't be really possible for me if we didn't have a cordless hoover. It's a game changer. And also, yes, we sometimes fall off the wagon, so it's not something that is working 100% all the time. Illness, travel, toddler, curveballs, life happens, and that is okay. Having this rhythm most of the times help us save so much time, energy, and decision fatigue. And when we do fall off track, it's so much easier to get back on. If you are not on the budgeting train yet, it's time to hop on, because I promise you it's going to change your life. Now, I'm new to this too, and I've only properly been budgeting for a couple of months, but I already see it has shifted so many things, and I'm so excited what it can mean for our family in the future. What really sparked this habit was a video I found on YouTube from a creator called Living Life Beautifully and Intentionally, and she has released a budgeting video, which is the first time when budgeting didn't feel that overwhelming. The content felt very relatable and something doable, and I highly recommend you to check that as well if you want a proper step-by-step guide. But the gist of it is that at the beginning of each month you set your intentions for the month and then decide and plan where your money is going to go before you spend it. For example, if I wanted to get my hair done, I would allocate that cost to, let's say, my wellness pocket. You can have the bills, rents and subscriptions allocated to a fixed costs budget. I also set a monthly cap for our groceries as well, which has really helped us stop overspending. Then there are pots that she calls as sinking funds, which basically means that you put a set amount each month. For example, you could have a sinking fund for holidays, birthdays, different kind of occasions, or anything that you usually would be spending more money on. That helps when those bigger costs arise, you already saved up for it. For our joint account, we use Monzo, and I like to use Monzo pots for budgeting, so I can physically move the money into these pots. And this has helped us making our money look more visible and gets rid of that deceiving feeling that you have it all to spend. When it comes to keeping my life somewhat organized, I like to use Google Calendar for managing my weekly tasks, especially the routine ones and the ones that come out from my monthly intentions and goals. You can create different task lists based on your buckets. I have work where I list weekly job priorities. YouTube, Instagram is a new one for me. Photography is for any creative project, and of course I have the personal one which covers everything else like family, home, self-care, or any kind of life admin type of thing. You can assign tasks to specific days, start the non-negotiables, and easily drag them to another day if life gets in the way. Now on top of this, I've been playing with something that's a little bit more spiritual, so this is not a scientific thing, but I found it quite introspective, and what I'm talking about is human design. You can find your type by googling human design calculator and just add in the required information and it will give you your type. There are 5 types. I am a generator, which is the most common human design type. Generators have a steady stream of energy as long as they are doing something that lights them up. But we burn out quickly if we say yes to things out of obligations, or stay stuck in the wrong job, the wrong routine, or wrong relationship. Now again, this is not something scientific, but it's fun to play around with this. So I asked ChatGPT this: how does my generator lifestyle apply to my main life buckets, work as a change manager, YouTube content creator, photographer, and in my personal life with family, friends, and household tasks? And how should I plan my days, weeks, and months based on that? The reflections were really useful. It helped me see what type of tasks fill me up in each area, how I plan my time in a way that avoids burnout and honors what feels right. So for example, it made me think about my relationship with exercise. I like to do running, I like to do CrossFit, I like to do my Peloton bikes, I like to do yoga, and oftentimes I find that trying to be consistent with everything can be very stressful. So seeing it in this way, thinking about how my energy flows, it allowed me to think it's okay to not be consistent in a way. As long as I'm active, as long as I'm doing what feels right, that's fine. I think it's a nice exercise to do, and you can end up finding out some interesting things about yourself, even if you just reflect on what fills you up, what lights you up, and what might drain you. Now you hear this productivity tip all the time. Assign focus days to group similar tasks. So for example, on Monday you do admin, Tuesday is for content, Wednesday house stuff, and so on. And while I think it's smart and for some people it works well, when I tried it in real life, it just overwhelmed me. Oftentimes the days get busier than you expect, and then you end up shifting one day's task to the next day task, and then it just never gets done. And also switching focus in between them has just drained me. What has worked for me is assigning focus weeks. So as I said, at the beginning of each month, I set my intentions, which is at the moment is just in a simple Google Doc. where I write out for each category of my bigger life buckets, like how I want to feel and what I want to tick off that month. And then I assign each week one priority. So maybe this week is YouTube week, the next week is maybe something I do around the house, like organizing the garden or do some decluttering, or might be the next week is for my photography and creative projects. This way I'm not switching gears constantly day by day, and I can fully lean into whatever I'm doing, even in the tiny windows I get. It helps me stay grounded, not rushed, and actually makes me achieve what I set out to do. And by the way, I mark my focus weeks in Google Calendar. One simple hack that you can do is to create a full day event, stretch it out from Monday to Sunday, and type the focus of your week in the event title. And so now you have it recorded in your calendar. One thing I've learned, what used to work doesn't always keep working as well. If you are feeling overwhelmed or some parts of your life doesn't flow as it used to flow, maybe your toddler is melting down at times that he or she didn't before, it might be a time to pause and ask, is our rhythm supporting us or working against us? I'll give you an example. We used to do dinner after Kemi's bedtime, but what ended up happening that by the time he fell asleep, we were so exhausted that we had no energy to cook. Takeaway started to creep in, which wasn't great for our health, neither was for our well, and definitely not sustainable. So we reassessed and moved dinner earlier. So now we all eat together at dinner. So dinner is now before Kemi's bedtime around 6 p.m. And in all honesty, don't imagine a candlelit, calm dinner. Obviously, we have a toddler, so it might be that he is running around and feeding the dog, playing the guitar and trying to convince him to eat, or he needs a potty, and we stop dinner and then come back to it. But it still is a connection. But more importantly, it helps us stick to our meal plan. We save money, we eat healthier, and we don't feel like collapsing at 9 p.m. in front of the TV. Another big one was for us is bath time. Around the time when Kemi was about 15-16 months old, bath times have started to become quite challenging. As soon as he was out, there was just a lot of resistance. We realized that he wanted independence. We still treated him very much like a baby, and so we decided that we need to give him some more independence. We started to let him walk from one room to another instead of us carrying him, and just by changing this up, it made bedtime run smooth again. So the lesson here, if something in your routine feels hard, maybe your routine just needs an upgrade. So those were my 7 real-life hacks that have helped me stay mostly sane while juggling motherhood, full-time work, and building a creative side hustle. Now, I really want everyone to help each other here on YouTube. So if you have a habit, a hack that helps you save time, money, or sanity, leave a comment below and let everyone else know about it. In future videos, I'm planning to do some vlogs on how these systems work in our everyday life and potentially deep dive into some of these. So if you don't want to miss out, don't forget to hit the notification button and subscribe to this channel. And if you would like to learn more hacks and stay inspired, check out this playlist here. As always, I appreciate you, and I will see you in this video.